us, were you placed on administrative leave after this?
The very next morning.
This is how long after that letter was delivered, ballpark?
Almost a hair less than a month.
How many board meetings are there typically? How often does the board hold meetings?
One a month, typically once a month is statutorily required.
So you write a letter asking for discrimination to stop, is that correct?
Yes.
You deliver it to the board, then after the very next board meeting, you're placed on administrative leave, is that correct?
It was a special board meeting.
You were placed on administrative leave right after that?
The next morning.
Were you notified that you were going to be the subject of an investigation?
At that next morning, I was.
Do you think those things are retaliation for you bringing up discrimination?
Yes.
Discrimination is a very serious allegation, and so is retaliation. Why? What would make you think that you're being discriminated against?
I filed a complaint with some examples that is still being considered, but there were interesting conversations in the building that made me uncomfortable. They were not, the best way I can describe them as a tidbit was dropped regarding LGBTQ individuals, and my impression was it was to see my reaction.
From whom?
From Dr. Kravit.
Give me more specifics about these types of comments, please.
One was a story about a male fine arts teacher that didn't really fit in with the FIA teacher and other coach or and I don't even remember the roles of the people he was talking about, and that person ended up leaving the district because it wasn't a good fit.
Those comments made you feel uncomfortable?
Yes, he also talked about his, started with a...
Feel uncomfortable?
Yes. Yes.
How did you respond?
They caught me so off guard that I didn't react. Plus, I have always been very private about that part of my life. I don't bring it to school. I don't bring it to colleagues. It's a long time after I have a trusted relationship that anybody most often approaches me regarding that topic, because I don't share that information. I'm extremely private with my life.
Have you ever taught health classes to students?
In, I think, probably all the districts I taught, there's a human growth and development one-day lesson for, typically it varies from district to district, but typically for fifth graders.
When you've taught those classes in the past, have you been able to teach those on your own without supervision?
Yes. The first year here I taught it without supervision. The girls and boys are separated in an adjoining classroom, and we decided as a team, I include teachers in our decision making, that the boys would be most comfortable going to videotape with boys, and the girl videotape and curriculum would be most comfortable with female teachers.
When were you asked to have someone else in the room with you?
The next year, Dr. Gardy approached me and said, it's been recommended that you have somebody in the room. And again, I was perplexed, and I think he references in some of the documents that I didn't take that well. It wasn't that. It was like, I did this before, and there were some specifics on the concern.
At the time, did you think it was because you're gay?
At the time, I did not.
Now that we've been through this process, public records have been revealing all these documents, emails that we're going over now. Is this one, now that you read that, do you think that it was because you were gay?
Just for the record only, now that you read for the record only, now that you read that, you need to identify what that is, and if it's an exhibit, you need to identify what exhibit it is.
Correct. Thank you. This will be exhibit number 12. The email from Gwen Keller to Superintendent Garvey about the health classes having Mr. Peterson be supervised. When you saw this email, Mr. Peterson, did you then think that the entire reason that it has to be supervised around boys' special health classes is because you are gay?
It made the connection for me.
What do you think she means by the word intuitively, I thought?
I'm going to object to that question. It clearly calls for speculation.
I'll move on. Have you seen the other email here in Exhibit 13 about social and emotional learning curriculum?
Could you repeat the question?
Do you have Exhibit 13?
I do.
This is an email from Gwen Keller to Michael Garvey. On the third paragraph, it states, and I quote, "The next topic coming down is considering pedophiles as a sexual orientation. Heaven forbid this topic be broached in front of our children."
I am familiar with that statement.
How does that comment make you feel?
It's a shocking comment. It's a shocking comment because I am a gay male. There are movements, there are suspicions that people make connections between the LGBTQ community and pedophiles.
Principal Peterson, are you a pedophile?
I am not.
Can you please turn to Exhibit 10, please?
I'd like to be heard on Exhibit 10. Exhibit 10 is what I understand to be an anonymous document. Therefore, it has no source. I don't think it, therefore, should be introduced into evidence.
May I just have them testify as to the document without actually using it?
I'm still objecting to the entry of the document into evidence. It's just like an anonymous document.
May I ask you questions about it without referencing it? At the end of this questioning, if you want to have it removed, we can, but it's just going to be about his knowledge of an anonymous letter. Just like what asking about any other thing that's not sitting in front of us right now.
I don't object to questions about an anonymous letter. Okay.
Oh, thank you.
Principal Peterson, did anyone give you a letter that was written anonymously, that was given out that they told you was given out to multiple media sources and parents around town?
I was told about it, yes.
Did someone finally give you a copy of that letter?
Yes.
When you read that letter, what did that letter say about you? What do you remember that letter saying about you? I don't want to read it, remember. Let's do it here. So just your memory of what this letter said.
I've grown up in this community. I've served this community. I have been the beneficiary of amazing things in this community. And when someone anonymously is passing this out, referencing me and doesn't even know who I am, it's hurtful.
Does this letter say that you groom children? Again, we have no to it, but let's just off of your memory.
It alludes to that.
Does it say that if someone would just look inside of your personnel file and would realize that you're a groomer?
It alludes to bigger things that would be part of my profile.
Do you think this letter damages your reputation and standing in the community?
there are many people that know and love me in this community, and it doesn't damage it with them. But there are people that don't know me, and of course it damages the fact that this anonymously or not is passed out. Anybody could have this and make judgment about me.
Did that letter conflate homosexuality with pedophilia the same way that this email does?
Yes. Ms. Lubinsky, could I ask a question?
Nope, I'm not under oath. Sorry.
It was a clarifier. Maybe Ms. Lewis.
Who are you asking a question of?
To provide some information
About what?
about the anonymous letter.
Who are you asking a question of?
I'm asking you if I can provide information about an anonymous letter.
Without knowing what you're going to provide.
I'll get him there.
Okay.
Jeff, is there anything you want to tell us about this anonymous letter that you remember?
I know who passed out this anonymous letter.
Did somebody in this community, do you think?
The person who passed it.
Now, hold on. I need a clarification. Are you asking him, is the person who passed out the letter someone in the community? Or are you asking him whether the author of the letters?
I'm going to ask you the person who distributed the letter is somebody in this community.
Yes.
Do you want to say who that person is now or not?
Art Binhack.
The same Art Binhack that's at the retreat that we talked about earlier?
Yes.
The same Art Binhack that's been around the school and a very, very prominent member of the school community, is that correct? That Art Binhack?
Hold on a second. I'm not sure that we have foundation for
I
that.
thought we did. My fault.
Okay.
The same Art Binhack that was at the retreat. Stop.
Yes.
With your all permission, if Art Binhack is here today, we can I'll make an exception and call him up
I
here.
think, no, I think there's inappropriate.
Okay, very well, very well.
Hold on.
Okay.
Art Binhack is not a member of the school board. He's not a member of the administration. He's not making a decision here tonight. I don't think that it's relevant to call Art Binhack. He hasn't been asked to be here. I think we need to move on.
Understand, I was just asking permission.
Thank you.
Do you think that board member Gwen Keller conflates homosexuality with pedophilia?
Objection, foundation, calls for speculation.
Attorney Haslam, you have her email that people have testified about. I'm not sure where you're going with this, what more you need.
I don't need anything else.
Okay, thank you.
Has anyone else ever in your entire life accused you of being a pedophile, Jeff?
Never.
Why do you think someone sent out that letter now?
Objection, calls for speculation. You can't testify to the motives of the author.
What was the effect of having sent out that letter now at this stage?
Effect on him?
Effect on him.
Okay. I don't object to that.
I'm going to clarify. Effect on your career. The effect on your emotions. The effect on you as a human being.
Okay, Mr. Haslam, ask one question, please.
Get the narrative out. Go ahead, Jeff.
No.
What's the effect on your emotions, Jeff?
It's extremely difficult to have that out there. It's not right.
Are there people who are trying to spark fear in this community for their own political gains?
Objection, foundation, argumentative. Calls for speculation.
Attorney Haslam.
I'm being argumentative with non-witness. Okay, moving on. You know what, Mr. Peterson, thank you for being here. I gotta say, you're coming up here, you're answering everyone's questions, you're laying it all out for this entire community, and it takes some bravery and some courage. You could have just walked away. So I want to give you an opportunity here. You didn't need to come up here. So my last question to you, Are we better? That was shocking. So let's see. I'm going to start over again because that was an interruption of the. Thank you for coming up here and answering everyone's questions. You didn't need to come up here. You volunteered to come up here. You volunteered to come up here and lay yourself bare for everyone to question you about everything in your life. You didn't need to do that. So my last question to you is why would you put yourself through this, Jeff?
The narrative is not right. It's not fair. And I don't deserve it. There's a veil of, I believe, over concerns that have nothing to do with my performance as a principal or my ability to provide a school environment for children that support them, that make them feel important, that give them confidence, that make them want to get up the next morning and do their best to impress their teachers, their parents, and be something when they get to the young adult. This school wrapped its arms around me when I was a 7th grade student and my mother passed away on Christmas Day during Christmas vacation. And I came back to school feeling different than everybody else. And the teachers in this school supported me through that. And my family. I came back as a teacher, a new teacher that didn't know anything. And the teaching staff here supported me, helped me grow, gave me the confidence to be a leader in a school. My sister passed away unexpectedly.
Bring your face just a little further away from the mic. Try that. Subject to the court reporter being able to hear you.
I don't think that might. It's working? Okay. I want it to be loud. My sister passed away in April of 2021 after a 3-week illness. And I was here the day that the children and staff came back after that to tell them that they did it for me and they could do it again for her students. And I have the privilege and honor to make this environment the same thing for students for years to come, hopefully.
Thank you, Jeff. That's all I have for you this time.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to take a few minutes.